Hey everybody, Steve here, and here's a look at all the stories we're following from the AFR News Desk for October 14th, 2014. Our lead story this week comes from over at Replay Games, where they've announced the release of the 1968 season for their Replay Baseball game. Now, something that designer Pete Ventura does for every one of his baseball sets is he has a contest where he invites people to do the write-ups for all of the teams, and then he selects one of the volunteers to win that set for free. Now with the 1968 season, there's only 20 teams, and a lot of them have already been spoken for, but if you have a minute tonight, head on over to that thread over at the Replay forums. I'll post a link to that thread below, and see if you can sign up for one of the teams and possibly win that set for free. It's a really fun thing that Pete does. It's really great. It's just a 250 word write-up for each of the teams, and it adds a little bit of flavor and character to each of the team write-ups that come with the book for all those sets. Good luck to everybody in writing that, and definitely looking forward to seeing the 1968 season that's due to ship later this month. And now let's take a look at new releases. Sticking with Replay Games, they've also announced that the 2013-14 season for their Replay basketball game will ship on November 5th. And now turning over, there's a lot of baseball news. Dynasty League Baseball is offering a free PDF of the 2014 World Series teams to all of their 2014 season player card pre-orders. The print edition of the 2014 season is now available from PT Games for their Payoff Pitch Baseball game. FTP Sports also released the 2014 season for their Dugout Steps Baseball game, and they're also having an October Legends sale. And how this works is the more that you spend, the more that you can save, all the way up to 40% off any order of at least $40. I'll post a link to that below. Check out the codes that you need to put in when you place that order. And finally, designer Roberto Chiavini has a lot of new releases coming out this month, including the return of Head-to-Head Tennis 2.0. Some other new releases are highlighted by the 1970 yearbook for heroes of the Major Golf, and the 81, 82, and 1983 yearbooks for Daring Racers F1. And now it's time for the question of the week. So last week on the show, I asked everybody what they thought about adding an Upon Further Review segment to these AFR news shows, where I would focus on non-sports themed games. And there were a lot of comments. It was actually, I believe, the highest commented video that wasn't a contest. So thank you to everybody that chimed in on the discussion. And the overall sense was that everyone would like to see that, but not in the AFR News channel. So I've decided I'm going to open up another YouTube channel called Upon Further Review, and no set date on when that will come out, but that will be a channel where I'll be able to put out news stories and reviews of non-sports themed games that catch my interest and that I think my viewers might possibly be interested in. So stay tuned to both AFR and UFR for further updates. For this week, I have a question for the viewers, and I'd like to know, what is your favorite tabletop moment that you just had to smile at, even if it wasn't an outcome that you were hoping for? And I asked the question this week because I recently just finished playing the 2001 World Series out with the More Fall Classic set that came out for History Maker Baseball from Play.com. And it was a very thrilling series between the New York Yankees and the Arizona Diamondbacks that actually went to Game 7, just like in real life. And in this game that I played out, the Diamondbacks actually had the lead in the top of the 9th, and with 2 on and 2 out, Randy Johnson came on in relief, and he was facing Derek Jeter, who had just been atrocious throughout the series. I think he only had a couple of hits coming into Game 7, and what was funny about this whole situation is I actually did this replay just sort of as a tribute to a retiring Derek Jeter. Even though I'm a Red Sox fan, I do appreciate what Derek Jeter did for the game and what a great player he was. So this was my Mr. November tribute to him. And here it came down to him, and of course he got a 2-run double that tied and then put his team ahead. And then the Yankees held on to close out the game in the bottom of the ninth to actually win the series and rewrite history. So, as a Red Sox fan, I was hoping that the Diamondbacks would repeat history and win the series, but it was not to be, and Derek Jeter came through in the clutch, just like it seemed he always did. So, I had to smile in spite of myself, and it's become one of my favorite tabletop moments. So, I definitely look forward to hearing your comments about what your favorite tabletop moment is, and I'll go over some of the highlights on next week's show. And now it's time for channel updates. So the news shows will continue here. I'll try getting them out every Tuesday night. This seems to be a good schedule. And I'm also currently working on a couple of reviews. I'm working on Digging Deep Golf from Digging Deep Sports, and also Grid Zone from designer Gary Brown. No timetable on when those will be out, but hopefully within the next couple months I'll get a couple of those reviews up for you. Alright everybody, that's all for now. Thank you for watching. My name's Steve, and I'll see you next time after further review.